Hello and welcome to today's new video. Today we'll be going through the last part of our series on decimal fractions, and we'll be focusing on the equivalent forms of fractions. The first group that we have are the tenths, percentages, and decimals. So as you can see here in this grid, we have a depiction of what a tenth looks like. So there are 10 bars and one has been shaded in. So that gives us what a tenth of these bars look like. We write them in the following ways. We write them as a common fraction, which is 1/10. We write them as a decimal fraction, which is 0,1. And a percentage of a tenth is 10%. When we talk about the conversion from a common fraction to a percentage, we usually have to multiply the tenth in order for us to convert it to a hundredth. Because as you know, a hundredth gives us the overall percentage of something. So when we talk about the percentage of something, we're talking about a number over 100. So we need to get our denominator to 100 before we can convert it to a percentage. So as you can see here, I multiplied both the bottom and the top by 10, and that gave me 10 over 100, and I ended up with 10%. Our other equivalent form that we have is a hundredths. And as you can see here, I've drawn out a grid. Each block represents a hundredth, and you can see the depiction of 1/100th over here. We write them as a common fraction. We write them as a common fraction, which is 1/10. We write them as a decimal fraction, which is 0,01. As a percentage, it's 1%. As I said before, anything over 100 gives us the percentage. So in our examples here, we need to convert 56 over 100 and 7/10. But I'm first going to focus on number 1. So we need to write 56 over 100 as a decimal and as a percentage. It's easier for us to write it as a decimal. So if we know that 56 over 100, so that will generally be 0,56. So nothing has to change or anything like that. As a percentage, I just take the 56 and I put the percentage sign at the end. In our next question, we have convert 7/10 as a decimal and B a percentage. So it's pretty straightforward to convert the 7/10 to a decimal. So that is just 0,7, as it only takes up one place value, one place after the comma. As a percentage, I will have to convert the 7/10 to 100th, which means I need to multiply the bottom by 10 and the top by 10 as well. And then I can go straight from there to writing it as a percentage. Lastly, for our equivalent forms, we have thousandths, percentage, and decimals. So as a common fraction, we would write this 1/1000. As a decimal fraction, there are 2 decimal points before we put any numbers down. And in percentage, it is 0,1%. In order to convert a thousandth to a decimal, it's pretty easy if you just remember that it's usually the thousandth will be, or one digit, or the unit in this case in the numerator, that will be in place where this 1 is. So this means that the 92 becomes 0,092. Then as a percentage, I would have to then take the 92. I would take the 92 over 1,000 and divide it by 10, both the numerator and the denominator, and I'll get 9,2 over 100, and this will give me my percentage of 9,2. In number 2, we have to convert 875 over 1,000, firstly to a decimal. So this will be 0,875. To convert 875 over 1,000 to a percentage, I'm going to do the same thing what I did in the previous question. So 875 over 1,000, I'm going to divide it by 10 over 10. And this is going to give me 87,5 over 100, which will be my decimal of 80, or my percentage of 87,5%. Alright guys, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.